So this is day 2 of my training routine, which is my push day, which is also my chest focus day. So as you can see, I'm starting off with a flat dumbbell chest press. I did 4 sets, 6 to 12 reps, looking for failure at around about 12. So the main form setup for me with this exercise is to ensure that my forearms are always driven directly up to the sky. My hands aren't falling inside my elbows and my shoulders. So I get a good stretch out on the chest on the way down, not taking it beyond to the point where my shoulders start to roll forward, so I keep the engagement just in the chest. As you can see, I slightly rotate my hands to feel a better squeeze and engagement at the top of the exercise, and keeping my feet and hips as stable as I can. The second exercise I did was an incline dumbbell press. So I did 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps in this exercise too. So unlike a lot of people who do incline dumbbell press, I tend to tuck my elbows so I'm not excessively flaring. That allows me to lower the dumbbell, lower down closer to my chest, and work a bit more on my shoulder to chest upper portion attachment, so I get a fuller, rounder look to the top of my chest. Keeping it nice and controlled, once again, forearms directly up to the sky, using the leverage and the length of my arm to make a lighter weight feel much heavier because the weight is further away from my body, and ensuring that I got a good connection and good grounded sensation with the floor to drive into the floor. The last direct chest exercise I did was a machine cable fly. As you can see, I've added an additional kind of rope handles to the existing handles on the machine. I just feel like it gives me a much better range of movement, and I can feel a far greater stimulus on the stretch of my chest and the top end of the squeeze and the peak contraction. Keeping my shoulders back, not letting them round forward, so I'm pushing my chest up in that kind of proud hero posture, so the chest is being accentuated and worked to its fullest degree, and the shoulders aren't taking over the movement by them coming forward. I did about 4 sets and between 6 to 15 reps. Obviously slower controlled, focusing on more volume and just trying to get as much engagement and squeezing every last drop of strength I got left in my chest out. Exercise 3 was a machine shoulder press. So I did 4 sets, roughly 6 to 12 reps, and on the last set I dropped the weight down by about 1/3 of what I'm currently lifting, focusing a good connection with the shoulder, driving through that shoulder range as much as I can. If you can see, I've got quite a wide grip in the handles, and this is once again to enable my forearm to be directly up to the sky, so I'm not putting any more external tension onto the shoulder that's necessary. Making uses longer of my arms, I can keep the weight further away from me and make it feel heavier, making the exercise more effective. The 5th exercise I did was seated cable lateral raises. I did 4 sets, 6 to 15 reps. This exercise is widely debated whether it's effective or not. For me personally, I find I get a very good connection with this exercise, and I really feel the medial delt isolated. I'm working very hard in this exercise and getting good results as a result. I place the cuffs very near my elbows, so I'm reducing the movement arm away from the muscle, so then I can feel the engagement much better with the exercise and feeling it for its fullest range, allowing it down slow and then a good little bit of a squeeze at the top, ensuring that I fire my medial delt hard. The 6th exercise I chose was a dumbbell seated side lateral raise. So obviously the exercise previously was also a lateral raise, but because I feel I lack a bit of shoulder width and need to gain some more broadness up top, I just add in a secondary exercise that focuses more on the bottom half of the contraction than the top half. By sitting down, it's stopping me from swaying and swinging excessively, and I can just focus really on just putting the shoulders to the very end, reducing rest times to 30 seconds from 60. I did 4 sets of 8 to 15 reps, nice light weight. I didn't use my thumbs either, so I can't grip intensely and I can really contract my side lateral delts. The 7th exercise I did was a cable rope tricep press down. So I'm using a separation bar where it keeps the ropes roughly about shoulder width apart, as I got a rope in each hand. This means then that the arm can stay in a very kind of straight line path, so I can contract the tricep through its full range as hard as I can without any kind of flexion or rotation. I did 4 sets of 8 to 15 reps, nice and controlled, really good squeezes, making sure that the tricep is initially engaging the exercise and also squeezing at the very top of the exercise. The 8th exercise I did was a lion bench behind head cable press. By using a bench, it just feels it locks me in a very nice solid position, and I can just really feel isolation of the tricep through this exercise. I did 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps, really focusing on that little flexion just as the bar reaches just past my head. You get a little flexion in the elbow, so then you're re-engaging the exercise and driving through the tricep as hard as you can with a good squeeze at the top, making sure you don't use excessive weight and making sure that the later rep ranges, so anything beyond 10, that's going to be the fatiguing point, not the weight from lower rep ranges. This is the 9th and final exercise for my push day, where it's just basically doing body weight skull crushers, mimicking what you can do with a normal barbell and a normal skull crusher. I just find that I get a good movement and a good squeeze and contraction using my body weight to the bar instead of the other way around. I also focus on slightly higher rep ranges of 3 sets to at least 12 reps or greater. I just want to make sure that when I leave the gym, I got a good pump and I just get that overall fullness feeling to my arm, which is the feel good factor, and just finishing off with some good volume work and an adequate movement.